What do you think then? Now, let's get some predictions. Do you think Chelsea are going to make the top 4? Who's going to end up in the bottom 3? Let's hear your bold calls for the season ahead. Adrian.
Okay. Top 4 will be Manchester United, Liverpool.
In which order?
Oh, I'm going to go from 4.
Okay.
4 to 1. Let's go for 4 to 1. Manchester United 4.
Yes.
Liverpool 3rd. Look, I've got a head and a heart selection here, but my head says Arsenal 2nd and City to win it again.
Right, okay.
Yeah. They're worthy favourites, but Arsenal can win it.
Do you want to disagree wildly with that?
Duncan,
you think Arsenal are going to win it?
Yeah, my top 6 was Arsenal first, Chelsea second.
You're kidding.
Why Chelsea second?
I just believe in Poch. I think
Incredible.
They underperformed so much last season. That is not a guide to that Chelsea squad.
Compared to the Spurs team that he took to second place, how would you? Is this a better Chelsea side?
Not yet, but I think it's got potential.
So Chelsea side that scored 38 goals is going to finish ahead of Manchester City.
That's why we love predictions, Adrian. I've got City 3rd. City 3rd. Good job. They like the number 3. United 4th, Liverpool 5th, Villa 6th.
Tim?
I do think Man City might drop off. I don't know. They showed some weaknesses last season. De Bruyne is 32 now, very injury prone. You say
Right.
him and Haaland and Gundogan were the ones who really kicked them onto the title at the end of last season. Can Haaland do it again? I'm sure he can.
1 in 9 he's got. 1 in his last 9.
In awful form. But I don't know. I think Arsenal got a huge determination and motivation to win this title this year, and I think their recruitment's been really impressive. A lot will depend on Havertz, but I think Timber and Rice are almost guaranteed to do very well if they stay injury free. A lot will depend on how they cope with the Champions League, but I've got them down to tip City. I think most people.
You have Arsenal.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people just want that to happen.
Yeah.
So you just naturally
it'd be good for the
Well,
league.
look, no team in the history of English football has ever won 4 titles in a row. It's one of the unbreakable things of English football. So there's been numerous times when teams have done 3, and I'm pretty sure if there had been podcasts then in the 1920s with Huddersfield, they'd have been saying they're going to win it again, but they didn't. So and everyone was saying Haaland, think how good he'll be in his second season, but it doesn't always work like that. Mo Salah's best goal season was his first season at Liverpool, and players do get worked out.
I predict he'll get injured. You rarely hear injury predictions, but I think Haaland will miss a chunk of the season for injury.
Boom! I was going to come on to injury predictions next. Thanks, Tim. Who's your top 4 then?
I think.
Is this in reverse order?
Yeah, I'm going to count down. Chelsea 4th.
Chelsea 4th.
I think No Europe will be a big factor, and they've finally got a good manager, and there's no doubt of the quality that they've got in their squad. I think he'll bring it together. I think Liverpool 3rd, and then City 2nd, and Arsenal 1st. I think United will drop down. I just can't quite see Rashford having the same impact in terms of goals this season, and I don't think Højlund's going to make up that shortfall. So I think United will drop down to 5th.
None of you have mentioned Newcastle United in your top 4.
It's a difficult one to predict, isn't it? Champions League will be a distraction for sure, but they've recruited really well. Yeah. I just think that they overperformed a lot of times last season. So
I've got them 7th. I just think Champions League plus trying to equal that last season is going to be tough.
Particularly the defensive record from last season. I'm not sure they can.
And they need to get the balance right, don't they? With Isak and Wilson, I think he wants to play them both in the same team, but I think they're a better team when it's one or the other. And defensively, it's just remarkable what they achieved last year. In open play, conceded fewer than anyone else. Can we see that replicated? I'm not sure.
What about who's going down then?
I think everyone will say Sheffield United.
I got them bottom.
Yep. Yeah, they'll be bottom.
I've also got Forest.
Forest?
Well, they don't score goals, and I think Adrian's right in terms of managerial departures. And Everton.
Really, not Wolves?
Honestly, don't know. I don't know.
Don't make him say that.
No. Do you know what? I did have them in originally, but I just think they've got better squads than the teams around them, and that will hopefully prevail. Not necessarily under Gary O'Neill for the whole season, but I think they will stay up.
Forest, Luton, and Sheffield United, but Luton I could easily swap out Luton for Wolves. I think the Wolves will struggle. They're just look. Everton always scrape out of it, don't they? So
I've got Everton, Wolves, and Sheffield United.
Why are you sitting down on Everton?
Because the last 2 seasons they've escaped on the very end, and they haven't really brought many players in. You know, people talk about Sean Dyche's ability to keep teams up, but he took Burnley down. So I mean, obviously next season they could be moving into the new stadium, which would be bad timing if nothing else. But
it's a strong narrative, isn't it, going down ahead of the new stadium? Yeah, you can see that being quite the story.
You touched on Fulham earlier. I think Marco Silva and Mitrovic were the 2 key reasons why they did so well last year, and they've both been very strongly linked with moves away this summer. So will those happen? How much does that unsettle them? Can Mitrovic score those many goals again? Teams will know how to play against them better now. I think they'll struggle.
Yeah, wow. I think they're really well coached by Silva. When I see them, I think they're a good team most of the times when I watch Fulham. But if they lost Silva, that would be the game changer. I think they'll find a way to cope without Mitrovic, to just reinvent themselves. But yeah, Silva's the key.
Hello there. If you've enjoyed this video, why not subscribe to this channel? The Totally Football Show podcast is available 3 times a week, bringing you all the football news you could reasonably be expected to care about. We've got views, we've got stats, we've got analysis, we've got some of the best football writers around, and the whole thing is absolutely free. So have a listen on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or all the usual places by clicking on the link below.